Hey, my name is Jonathan Leonardo, and today I'm going to play the role of Captain Obvious because the message this week is that Jesus is, wait for it, better. This is Internet Church. So here it is. We're doing something better with our studio setup. Now, you know we've been doing teachings from my office, and my office is good and everything, but it's a little sterile. Here, we actually have my office at home that we'll be doing the move, and we'll also be doing Internet Church from. My wife has done a good job at making it look dope, and then of course Justin came through and added the technical aspects. So, sit down right here and do our internet thing. So I can shoot the move right here. I can turn around and do some work. Tick, 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 right here. So it's a better situation. And you can tell how we're doing this thing about like, it's better, because Jesus is better. Actually, we had a recent experience where our buddy Scott came through and we've been doing some taste testing of some drinks that we want. And it's actually around some coffee that we've been working on. Just had some coffee this morning that was actually terrible. Didn't like it that much. What Scotty offered us was better. Actually, take a look at some of that footage. So the big vision is that we want to make a Kailua drink bus, Kailua drink van. And what we're looking to do is to have a presence in the community while also supporting the education of our children. So at the Kailua Seventh-day Adventist Church, we have a school, and we want to create different means to actually support their education. And selling some drinks might be the way.
I don't think I have a very fancy exposure or palette. It's nice to crowdsource to get some feedback.
We're fancy. We got handouts, ratings, pens, basters.
Having a good time.
Ooh, smells like Christmas.
That's refreshing. Shot, 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 shots, shots, shot, shot, shot.
We are including that in Internet
This
Church.
week's on Internet Church.
Let's try it. What do you think? Smell? Oh, you want to try it? You want a little bit of it for mommy? You can have some.
Yeah.
Very vanilla.
Right?
If we do tea and coffee, we could call ourselves the Kailua Tea and Coffee Company.
I like it. I'm not very sophisticated when it comes to tea.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
2 out of 2, I like
Justin is
it.
not very sophisticated.
But you know what he is? He's ripped.
Oh, God.
Justin, you look like you work out.
Thank you. You look like you work out. How you feel?
We made progress. I think that's the key here. Yeah, it was nice you guys seemed to take good notes. Feedback was detailed. I think that matters. And look at this. I mean, it's just a fun mess.
So as we get into the book of Hebrews, it's just the simple concept that Jesus is better. However, Jesus being better is so big and so deep in the book of Hebrews that sometimes you might have this like, man, it's too much or I'm getting lost, because you need a context. Like, he's better than the priesthood. He's better than Melchizedek. And it's like, yeah, but maybe I need to know something about the priesthood and you're not quite there. You haven't read Leviticus. It's like, how is he better from the priesthood? Or, he's better than the sacrifices. And yet again, I haven't read the book of Leviticus. I don't know how the sanctuary was instituted and this and that. And so the immediate context for us might be lost, or we might not know how to navigate it in order to actually see how Jesus is better in these ways. However, I want to offer you 3 ways that I think in the book of Hebrews gives us a vision of how Jesus is better that can make complete sense to us in 2022. Okay, 1, Jesus is way better than the former ways we used to relate to temptation. So in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 18, it says, "For because he himself has suffered when tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted." And the way I used to think about this is that Jesus offers like a little power pack of power for us to overcome temptation in its face. So if you're being tempted by something, all of a sudden some like celestial power pack is available to you to actually overcome the temptation. And if you overcome the temptation, then Jesus is somewhere on the sideline like, yeah, you overcame. Way to use the power pack. Good for you. However, Jesus is way better than this. Why? Because the way he overcomes temptation is not by simply giving a power pack. Jesus empowers us to actually overcome temptation in the light of the fact that we are actually grafted into him. Hebrews 2 presents this idea of the incarnation, in where because of Jesus, In the face of temptation, we are not given a power pack, but in the face of temptation, we meet it head on in the full power of his life, so that the temptation itself is overshadowed by the glory and the power and the fullness of actually being established in life because of Jesus. Jesus is way better than just simply offering a power pack. Jesus grafts us into his life through the incarnation. He becomes flesh and blood like his brothers and sisters so that he might deliver them from slavery for all those who have been enslaved because of the fear of death. So when it comes to facing temptation, how do we face it? By getting a power pack? No, we face it knowing that we've been established in life because Jesus has given us something way better. So another way that Jesus is better is that he's better than the shoulda, woulda, coulda expectations of the law. So let me tell you what I mean. Is that when it comes to the law and when it comes to the law of Moses, the idea was that we should do this, and when you don't do it, you're like, oh, we could have done that. And when you're not there, it's like, oh, had I been given another chance, I would have done this. So when it comes to the expectation of righteousness, there's always this shoulda, woulda, coulda around the law, right? And so the law tells us what we should do, and then we fall short, and then that holy trinity of regret, the shoulda, woulda, coulda comes. The shoulda, woulda, couldas. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Say that 3 times fast. But Jesus is way better than this. Why? Because in Jesus, according to the book of Hebrews, we actually have a rest away from the woulda, shoulda, couldas because of what Jesus has done and accomplished. He is a better intercessor. He gives us something that the law of Moses could never give us, which is the righteousness that the law wanted for us. So not do we only face temptation in a different way, we relate to righteousness in a different way because righteousness has been given to us through this great intercessor, Jesus. So I don't live from the shoulda, woulda, couldas of regret. I now live established yet again in the life of Jesus, having a righteousness that comes from this priest who gives me this good gift of righteousness. How do I relate to the shoulda, woulda, couldas? They're gone. I now relate to righteousness being firmly established because Jesus is way better. Just a quick word from our sponsor, which is us, Love Reality, The Move, Internet Church. The Move is actually going to be connected with Internet Church. The Move will be vibing through the book of Hebrews, and then it will culminate every time we gather in Internet Church, where we will be studying the book of Hebrews. So if you're interested in actually having the full experience, follow The Move. We'll be dropping 3 times a week, going through Hebrews, and then when we gather together at Internet Church, we'll be studying Hebrews. Now, if you only gather for Internet Church, that's fine. You can do it. It'll be standalone messages. But for a full sort of discipleship experience, integrate The Move and Internet Church in the book of Hebrews. That's what's gonna be better. So the third way that Jesus is better is actually the way Hebrews begins. Hebrews is this cosmic presentation of Jesus. It's the second person of the Trinity, the eternal Logos, this person that is wisdom himself, according to Proverbs 8. Jesus, who is both God and man. And he is actually given a title. He is the son, the firstborn. And when you think about the firstborn, you might have a recall back to the firstborn of our human race. That's Adam. Adam was the firstborn. Luke calls him a son of God. And this son of God actually fell and lost creation. But this person that's being revealed at the beginning of Hebrews has reclaimed everything that Adam lost and has restored humanity, redeemed humanity, elevated humanity to new heights that not even the first Adam could have ever imagined. This is why in Hebrews chapter 2, it says, "What is man that you are mindful of him, that you have made him for a little while lower than the angels?" Why? Because now in Jesus, humanity is crowned with glory. Humanity is crowned with this priority that because of second Adam, Adam number 2, the last Adam, Jesus, the unveiling of Hebrews shows us that humanity in Jesus has been restored, redeemed, and elevated to places that we would have never thought possible had it not been for Jesus. In all of these ways, Jesus is better. And in the book of Hebrews, we're just gonna discover the depth, the color, the shape, the boundless sort of reality that is this person of Jesus. And so now, in your groups, think through in what ways has Jesus been better in my life. I'll give you an example for me. For me, it was this revelation that I was a son, that I was loved. That was the first place where I saw it. That because of Jesus, it was a revelation of the Father's love. So what Jesus revealed to me was so much better than the way I was thinking about myself in relationship to God. I was thinking myself a slave continually, and I had to perform correctly through religious rites and services, or through spirituality, or through my calling as a theologian / pastor. But what Jesus revealed was something way better, that merely because I existed, God saw me as son. And in receiving that better revelation that Jesus came to actually give me, my life changed. In what ways has Jesus been better for you? Discuss that now in your groups.
You're about to twerk.
Never loved you so much.